Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Making the Jeans. Now in this episode we are going to tackle the back panel with the flat felt seams, the pockets with the top stitching. I'm going to add a red tag and again the bias binding, of course. So without further ado, let's get into materials. The materials we'll be using in this video is the back panel, the back pocket, the back top panel, thread again, needle, jeans needle again, a little bit of interfacing tape, the bias binding again. I have a little bit of red ribbon here, I'll show you later what that's for. Chalk is very important this time. I also have 3 templates here, I'll show you what that is for later on. And then of course your regular sewing supplies. So, as per usual, we are starting again with interfacing, and this time I'm going to interface the top of the pocket. So the next thing we're going to do is add some top stitching along the pocket. And this is where you can get really creative because the top stitching, it's totally up to you what you're gonna do with it. I'll show some examples here on the screen. I chose to do this particular one, and for that one I'm going to use 2 rows of top stitching. So that's why I made 2 templates. So here on the pattern of my pocket you can see that I drew out my design, and what I did is I copied that on some cardstock. I say cardstock, but this is a barbecue chicken pizza box. And then I cut that out. So next I can just align this. And this pattern is obviously without seam allowance, so I need to align it 1 centimeter from the sides and 2 centimeters from the top. Now I'm going to take some chalk and I make the edges extra sharp. You can do this with just a potato peeler or at least a non-serrated knife, and then just scrape off the dull edges. And that's it, that's my top stitching line. Finished the top stitching with 2 nice rows of stitching. So the top is now secure on both pockets. Now I'm going to grab my template, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in the side and the bottom seams. Next up I have my back panel here, and I'm going to mark the placing of my pockets. So first I'm going 6 centimeters down, and with a seam allowance of 2 centimeters, that will be 4 centimeters below the actual seam. It is already looking quite nice. Next up, I am going to install the yoke. And this is going to be a flat felt seam. First off, I'm going to sew the yoke to the back panel with a 2 centimeter seam allowance. Now to make the actual flat felt seam, we're going to have to iron this a few times. First off, I'm going to iron it open just so I can have a good look at the seam. There we go. Now we need to decide which way we want our flat felt seam to go. Usually they are on the panel, the back panel. So the side you want the seam to go, you are going to cut halfway down. Next we'll fold that one down and then in on itself. And we're encasing the seam allowance there, so it's over and then over again. So now that that is ironed, I can flip it and we'll top stitch it twice. So these flat felt seams are done, and next we're going to do another flat felt seam, this time on the back crotch. We're going to line these up, and it's really important that you get these flat felt seams nice and together, otherwise it's going to look really weird. And then we're going to do a 2 centimeter seam allowance stitch. So I just sewed the back seam, and this is yet another flat felt seam, so we're going to open this one as well. After we've done that, we're gonna grab our scissors and cut one of the seams back again, and this is going to be the left leg where the seam is going towards, because in the front we also did the seam towards the left leg. So in order to get them to match up, we have to do the left leg on the back panel as well. So my flat felt seam is in. Next step is to again bind the side seam with some bias tape, but since we've all seen how you should do that, I'm going to skip over that part and I'll come back with the end result. And here we have the end result. Now as you can see, I added the bias binding, the red tag on the pocket. It's very nice. You can't really see it because it's very black, but yeah, it's nice. I'm quite happy with it. So in the next video we are going to attach the back to the front. We're going to add the waistband, and then we can finally see how things are going to look. But for now, thank you all for watching. If you want to see the next video, as per usual, subscribe, click the bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload next. Thank you for watching, and I see you all the next time. Bye!